Wait, Neon's recording a video instead of streaming for 2 hours with 3 viewers? What? Nah, I could never. Yo, what's up? I decided that it would probably be wise to record actual videos instead of just stream for 3 hours with 2 viewers. See how I switched the numbers up that time? It's funny. So I'm gonna be talking about Zenless Zone Zero and sort of going through my story, how it started out, because, oh, 1 second, the dog's gotta come out and, they're gonna bark, so I shall return shortly. I promise, okay?
One eternity later.
I just gave them food, like, a few minutes ago, and they're already done eating, which is crazy. So, anyways, so, Chai, please don't. Okay, are you gonna want to go out? You should probably go out. I'll be right back.
2,000 years later.
Now watch, they're gonna come in and they're gonna be like, hey, we're gonna be barking now. I know we weren't barking for the 2-hour stream you just did, but we just decided that we would bark now. So, because this is my life, They're lovely and they're great, and then as soon as I need them to be quiet. But yeah, I decided that, I didn't get all the content of me starting Zenless Zone Zero, but I'm just gonna be doing normal Zenless Zone Zero stuff while I sort of explain the beginning of my journey to catch you guys up on how life is. So I started out, of course, with the Cunny Hairs team, and I went to do this thing and try out all these characters, and I was like, this one's awfully like Zhao, and I was like, So I really liked Nekomata, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna spend all my polychromes on standard banner wishes because, standard banner wishes. Great, right? No. So I spent for a very long time. I spent a lot of my
Ready for combat.
polychromes on standard banner wishes.
Ready for combat.
Because I was so set
Ready for combat.
on getting
Standing by.
Nekomata, and I couldn't. I got Reina, I got what's her face, Koleda. I got all these other characters before I got stinking Nekomata. I eventually finally got Nekomata. I also thought it was really funny. My friend's literal 20th poll got Nekomata, and it took me like almost 100 to get Nekomata. So that's great. Actually, more than 100, like 200. But anyways, so I finally got Nekomata, and I was so unbelievably happy because, I got the character I wanted. So I played her a whole bunch. I put her in my team. I subbed her out for Billy because, yes, we love Billy, but Nekomata is so much better, So I played with Nekomata for a while. I enjoyed that. But in the process of all this, and then trying to get Ellen as well, because I'm like, wow, Ellen's cool. She's fun, as you do. And she's a shark girl, and everyone secretly loves shark girls. And she's a Crier character, and I love Crier as my favorite element of all time. As I was trying to get Ellen, I got C6 Anton. So I was like, I should probably build a team for Anton eventually. So I did, and it's actually really nice. And now I've been using that, but my issue is Ambi is in my other team, right? So I'm like, dang, I need to build more characters. So that way, I have enough characters for a team. So I built Ellen a team, right? So, but who do I put in Ellen's team? I don't know. Who could I possibly put in Ellen's team, right? So you know who I put in Ellen's team? I put stinking Reina in Ellen's team. So now, my Anton's team has two characters that are in different teams. Because my Ambi is in a team with Nekomata and Nicole, and my Reina is in a team with Ellen. So how am I supposed to do anything? I don't have characters that, actually, stick to one team. Which is kind of an issue. Because now I can't do, Shiyu Defense and all the other ones. I mean, it's mainly Shiyu Defense, but who doesn't like Shiyu Defense, But anyway, I went through the story and I loved it so much. It was really an enjoyable story. The devs did a great job. Hoyo knows what they're doing. Like, they really do know what they're doing with gacha games. They understand what players like and how to make a good game and how to make it enjoyable. Right? They've made 3 other gacha games at this point, and they're all absolutely amazing. Genshin is a phenomenal game, and Zenless has been an amazing game to play. So they know what they're doing. Like, Hoyo knows what they're doing when making games like this. So after making all these games, they come in and they're like, all right, Zenless Zone Zero, new game, it's going to be revolutionary. And they really did it. I mean, they knocked it out of the park. It's a phenomenal game. And the story is great. I love the Cunning Hares. The Cunning Hares is probably... I wish... Okay, being perfectly honest, I wish the Cunning Hares were the main characters. Like, you know, Wise and Belle, they're great, you know? But deep down, like, the Cunning Hares are the true family here. And they're so funny, man. If it was up to me, like I said, the Cunning Hares would be the main characters. And we would be following their story. Everything with Vision and all that stuff. It was really so funny. They're so goofy. I love that Nekomata joined them. That was like the best thing ever that could have ever happened. Also, I personally think that the story with that whole outpost thing, with all the like the Hashira-esque characters, those characters are like so stinking cool. And I need more lore on them, like ASAP. So, after I got Ellen, the issue is I didn't have a good W engine for her, because I had built W engines for Anton and for Nekomata, but I didn't have anything for whatchamacallit, for Ellen. So I was like, I should probably try to get Ellen's signature weapon, right? The W engine thingy. So that's what I've been trying to do. But it's not really been working, and her banner's ending tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah, my issue is my characters are spread too thin between my teams, so I don't really have enough for 2 teams. I mean, I kind of do, but Anton's team is just sort of struggling because both Reina and Anby are in other teams. That's the struggle for me right now. I got the opportunity to play a roguelike like Hollow Zero. I had never really looked into roguelikes before. I mean, I've been told about them and what they were and things like that, but I was like, nah, you know, they're not that cool. They sound boring. And then I tried one because of Hollow Zero, and I actually had so much fun. Like, I never thought I would enjoy a roguelike as much as I did, but I did, and it's so unbelievably fun. I love the fact that you have such a big impact in what happens, like with all the corruptions and the Resonium and the corrupted Resonium, whatever they're called. With all those, you have so much of a choice in what actually happens in the game, and it's really cool. I also fell in love so much with the combat system and how it works, and how you can just... The parry system is so much fun, and I realized that for stunners, a lot of times you can just use a dodge instead of a parry. So it took me a few weeks, I would say, to understand how anomalies work, because they're very strange. If you haven't really looked into it yet, you probably won't understand, but they are very weird in the way they work. You have to build up a certain attribute for anything to actually work. And because of that, I found it really hard to get any sort of elemental reaction, as many would call it, in the game, because of the way it works. I mean, it's really hard to build up an attribute of any kind, because you're always resetting your thing with another element. So I've still tried to find different ways to build up attributes and whatnot, And the other issue is I haven't gotten any of the anomaly characters, unfortunately. Like, I don't have Grace and I don't have Piper. Those are the two anomaly characters, and they bring so much to the table that just nobody else brings. I really do see a future in anomaly supports being so much better in the game. I honestly don't know any other team that could be better than that. Like, anomaly just brings the elemental reactions and does so much damage. So I think it's kind of sad, to be perfectly honest, because you have too many attribute types. Because you have the stunner, you have the shielder, but you also have all these, anomaly characters. So you have your DPS, you have your stunner, and then, with the anomaly characters, you have to make a choice because you only have so many spots on your team. So what's the choice going to be is like the real question, Because most would think, you have to run this with this, and then, you need a stunner on your team. A lot of people think that, which is, kind of right. I would argue to say that having a stunner on the team is really important. The stun multiplier is just so insane that it's really important. But do you really need a stunner, though? If Anomaly does so much damage, do you need a stunner? So I think it's actually, now the more and more that I think about it, it's that choice between whether you want to run an anomaly support and go off of elemental reactions and things like that, or run with pen ratio and with a stunner, a support, and a DPS to really get a lot of damage out of your time spent while the enemy is stunned. Or do you want to deal with enemies that aren't stunned and just work specifically on anomaly, and then you have to build for things like anomaly proficiency and I guess pen ratio still makes a difference. Also, pen I think is such a cool thing in the game, like ignoring a certain amount of defense. I think that's amazing. There's so much novel about this game, and it's kind of hard to know what choices to make, and since it's so brand new and there's so much that we don't know about it, I'm kind of just sitting back. I have a plethora of characters partially built from what I know from Genshin, because a lot of it does carry over. So I have a lot of my characters built from my knowledge of Genshin. Upgrade their weapon, upgrade their talents, and upgrade their just straight up upgrade them. So I have a few characters built like that until you get crazy invested in other things like disk drives and things like that. So something that was really funny that happened to me over the course of getting closer to the end of the story, when I started to get into the Victoria housekeeping storyline and things like that, I was like, oh man, this is really cool, this is great, And I was so used to everything being like, hey, wait till you're X level and then you get unlock more story. And I got this this message over here: life has returned to normal. Rebuild your internet account after finishing the Victoria housekeeping quest. And I was like, oh, so I just need to level up to, Internet 40 or something like that, and then I'll get more storyline. But it wasn't for like another week of me grinding through and getting to Internet 40 and spending about a half week in Internet 40, like, what is happening, till I realized, hey, I caught up to all the story. So then what I did is I looked through my map, and I would go through each tab and find a quest and just do it. Any place that had a quest, I would go and do it. And I've basically gotten all of them. So there's a few, that I haven't gotten quite yet, but I've been going through and trying to find every quest and doing every little thing. But really, like, Genshin has done, not Genshin, Hoyoverse has done something here that is so novel. Like it's unlike any other gacha game, really, because it has so much story mode. Because it has more story mode than most of their other games. There's so much more story, but also the combat is so immersive and so good that it's like you feel like you're doing combat for a majority of the time. So it's somehow like the perfect balance. Um, so you might be asking, hey, are you gonna switch over to Zenless and never play Genshin ever again? Absolutely not. Genshin is still a phenomenal game, and I'm still going to be spending a lot of time doing it, but probably less. Probably like 50-50. I'm going to be honest, it's going to be a 50-50, and sometimes Genshin might lose your 50-50. So, so we're going to see um, how that all pans out, but I've really been enjoying this game, and of course there's a new update coming out tomorrow with Zhu Yun, and we're finally getting another Ether character, and with the way that the reactions work with that, I'm super excited, especially because I decided to build up my Nicole. Um, so it's really interesting to see what characters certain people got. I mean, to be perfectly honest, there's 4 characters I don't own. Like, so a lot of people have the same characters, just which ones they chose to build. I feel like I made a few mistakes in which characters I chose to build, but I think it's all right. I think I'm coping.
So this is 2 hours of editing Neon later, and I realized, hey, what an idiot. So silly, you forgot to record an outro. So yeah, my plan for this series is sort of because I stream Genshin mainly, and I don't want to stream Zenless. I mean, I can, but I feel like sometimes there's always some sort of issue getting the stream to work. But anyways, and you know, those who want to watch my streams and know my streams want to watch my streams for Genshin. So I wanted to make content about Zenless, but I wasn't sure how. So I think what the plan is here is to make sort of like I'm calling it a monologue, where I just sort of go through my story of Zenless and walk you along as I progress through it. It's an old-fashioned term now, but it's a playthrough. I remember watching like Stampy Longhead or something doing a playthrough. But that's the plan. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it up. I currently don't have time to really do it. I'm gonna be away for 2 weeks, but I'm gonna put this out. Maybe get another one out before I leave, but we shall see.